No.
I think we're live, Jose. So we're going to go, I'm going to share my screen, okay? Thank you for all the travel agents that are, all of our agents that are joining us for our Spain webinar. Just one second here while we get started here. Okay, very good. So, Jose, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, so I'm going to share it on my side because we are just, I think the button was hit for live. So we are now live broadcasting to our travel agent. So I'm going to share the screen on my side and then I will let you go through the presentation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
So first of all, thank you so much. I know everybody's still coming in and joining us from all over the country here in the United States. Thank you once again for joining our webinars. We're very, very excited to join our friends at the Northern Spain destinations that you're going to hear about today. And we have an exciting array of speakers because Spain is such a big country and Northern Spain is an array of beautiful, authentic destinations. We have beautiful, authentic people to join us on this presentation today. And we're going to start with Jose Ramon Castinera, who is the head of brand department at the Galicia Travel Tourist Board, I should say. So Jose, thank you so much for joining us. And you're going to introduce your colleagues as well, correct?
Thank you.
Jose, do you want to introduce your colleagues now?
Sorry, yes. My colleagues, well, I'm representative of the Galician Tourist Board, and I introduce my colleagues, Idoia Anza from the Basque Tourist Board, Daniel Ruiz from the Cantabrian Tourist Board, and Delfina Garcia Ordiales from the Asturias Tourist Board. We are colleagues from the representatives of the brand Green Spain.
Great. So we have an exciting presentation today to showcase the beautiful green Spain, the essence of Northern Spain, and all of its authenticity, the rich history, the culture, all of these amazing experiences that you can offer to your clients. Because we know, especially given the times we live today, they're looking for the authentic, off the beaten path, rich historical destinations that offer not just an amazing stay, but also be able to interact with the local culture and create amazing memories. And I think today's presentation is going to help showcase this amazing region of the world and especially of Spain. So my name is Marco Fernandez. For those of you who I've not had a pleasure of meeting yet, I know some of the agents listening to us have worked with us in the past. Some of you may be new, so welcome for those of you who are first joining us for your first webinar with Sagres Vacations. We have done a number of these webinars in the last several months, and we're very excited to bring you this presentation on Northern Spain. Sagres Vacations is a destination specialist for Portugal and Spain. We offer personalized experience for individuals and small groups, 48 hours turnaround itinerary, deluxe transportation, create your own commission. This is one of our biggest advantages working with agents. So if you have any questions, contact us. And at this point, just because there's so much information we want to get to you, we are going to let Jose Ramon lead us through the rest of this presentation. So Jose, anytime you want to get started, go ahead.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, I want to thank you to Sagres Vacation. We want to thank you the opportunity of presenting a destination like the Green Spain, the brand Green Spain, and also I want to thank the support of the Spanish Tourist Office in New York. Well, first of all, we are located, the brand Green Spain is made up for 4 regions, Euskadi, Cantabria, Asturias, and Galicia, located in the north of Spain. I think it's very important to emphasize something. Spain is a very rich country, culturally, artistically, etc. It's a very, it's a country with a sort of concentration of different cultures. So that's very important because we are very different with regard to the south of Spain. And we would like to leave this message in order to give you an idea to show you, to describe, or to better describe the type of experience you are going to have there. We are connected with New York through the international airport of Madrid, Barcelona, on the north of Portugal, Porto. Also, we have connections with London and with other international European cities. We have 8 airports in the Green Spain, but 3 of them are international. So the main cities of the Green Spain are Coruña, Santiago de Compostela, Oviedo, Santander, Bilbao, and San Sebastian. But we are going to give a brief introduction about the destination, the general information. So this is the coast of 2,500 kilometers of coastline with green valleys, mountains, forests, and nature. It's a very peculiar, with very green valleys, because this is part of the reason of the brand, the Green Spain, because the green landscape you are going to see during the whole trip. High mountains, national parks, and biosphere reserves, like this is the Lake Ercina, or even more than 900 beaches along the coast of the Cantabric Sea and the estuaries of the Galician coast. Some of beautiful national parks in the islands, like this one in the island Fies, in the mouth of the Vigo estuary, a natural park, a fantastic place. Just to give you an idea of the type of green landscape you are going to see in the Green Spain. Or we have also all the coast is touched by natural monuments like this one, San Juan de Gaztelugatxe, with these magical and twisted stairs that go from the inland, so from the coast to the island. Or highest cliff in the coast. Or a very important cultural heritage, like for instance, the Altamira Cave, one of the jewels of the prehistoric art in Europe. It is called the Sistine Chapel. All the destination is full of vestiges from the prehistoric times up to the modern times. Because in a way, in the northern part of Spain, you will see part of the vestiges of the old Europe spread all over the region. There you have an example of the pre-Romanesque style, previous to the Romanesque style from the 9th century, a World Heritage Site in Asturias, other of the highlights of the trip. Or the Roman walls, the best preserved Roman walls in the world that are in the city of Lugo. Also, you will see beautiful buildings representative of the religious heritage of the European culture in Spain and in Europe, like this one, for instance, the Covadonga Basilic in Asturias. Or charming villages, like this one, full of all the coast. In all the coast, you will see many fishermen villages spread all over the region in beautiful places with fantastic and very peculiar architecture, very representative of the north of Spain, like this one, Cudillero in Asturias. Or traditions that are very representative, like the lace work, that is a very typical tradition in the north of Spain, or even the carnival. Or also we have very authentic, like in the Basque Country, sports, like for instance, the wood choppers, or the regata de traineras, the rowing races, or the basketball. That's very representative of the essence of the Basque Country and the authenticity of the culture of the Green Spain, the originality with regard to the south of Spain. Or obviously, a region based by the Cantabria Sea and the Atlantic is the perfect place for surfers and for sailors. This is one of the best experiences of the Green Spain, is just practicing nautical sports. And the gastronomy. Just to give you an idea, San Sebastian, one of the most beautiful regions of cities of Europe, holds the highest number of Michelin stars per square meters in the world. So that will give you an idea about the type of gastronomic experience you are going to have in the Green Spain. Probably it's one of the identities most representative identity signs of the culture, of the lifestyle, of so different lifestyle and original that you are going to experience, to live, to see during your stay there. There you have more cheeses, little scallops, the creative cuisine. We have modern cuisine and very modern, very traditional and very new cuisine. There, the gastronomy really is part of the essence of the esprit of the north of Spain. There you have more images, more pictures of the. You will see the daily markets. Is another fantastic experience in the north of Spain, because also it's another opportunity of visiting and living the lifestyle of the people from the north of Spain, from the green Spain. And the wine will be a permanent experience all over the region. From the Basque Country up to Galicia, you will see fantastic wines, or bar ciders like this one in Asturias. Cider is another typical drink of the green of Spain, So, Marco? What? Marco?
Yes, hello, Jose.
Now,
So, yes, I'm here. Thank you again for showing us these amazing pictures and all of these beautiful examples of the culinary and the wine throughout northern Spain. You know, one of the things that Sagres Vacations really prides ourselves in is being able to offer cultural and enriching experiences. And, you know, the best ways to travel, we feel sometimes, is really exploring. Get out from the hotel, get out from the big cities and explore. And here's a couple of these amazing experiences that you can do. One is the horseback riding in Galicia, all throughout the area, but just beautiful areas that you are not able to travel by car and bus, and you're just able to gallop down these amazing coastlines, ravines, forests, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, as Jose mentioned, the Rioja wine region, not only do you have the most number of Michelin star restaurants in an area, you also have an amazing wine region that is world famous for its wine. And so you can actually experience the harvest if you're there during that time, if you're lucky there to be there during that time. Or throughout the year, just be able to taste and offer your clients a private wine tasting in this amazing area. On top of that, and again, staying with the theme of being outdoors and in touch with the nature and everything that speaks of Spain, doing a Basque tour of Biscaya Bridge, biking in northern Spain overall. So that's, again, another amazing experience for your clients. Jose?
Okay, thank you, Marco. All this experience, you can experience it in the Transcantabrico train. This is a fantastic experience that goes across the whole green Spain, from San Sebastian up to Santiago de Compostela. It's a very 19th century style experience of discovering the green Spain, one of the best, most attractive products of the green Spain. So continue. But there are two important experiences in the green Spain. First of all, the northern way of St. James. The way of St. James is Europe's oldest pilgrimage route, and also the most traveled in Europe. There are 8 ways of St. James, and one of the most famous is the Northern Way. It has been declared recently UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Way of St. James is the first European cultural itinerary awarded by the Council of Europe, and carefully considering the potential of these routes in raising awareness of European identity, in the valorization of cultural heritage, and the creation of a space where European citizens and people from all over the world can enjoy cultural tourism and leisure. In short, the Way of St. James, we could say that it's humanity. Thousands of people walking with an open attitude, a kind heart, people who are keen to meet others, to discover, to communicate. There you have, and the Northern Way, you will have the opportunity to revive some of the best values of human being can have, living together, sharing with people from different origins, people from all over the world, do the northern way of St. James, visiting, living histories and stories, experiencing the gastronomy, the type of the different landscape, villages, strolling, really, it's an exchange of cultural identities that goes from the north of Spain. So there is, there you have one more image of the type of places you are going to visit during the experience. The north of Spain, the way of St. James, really, it's a very spiritual experience. We recommend to do it at least once in a life, really, in the way of St. James. We'll see places like this one, the Flix in the Basque Country. Sorry, go on, please, Marco. More, this is other villages. Santiago, the Lebaniego Way. This is a highlight in the way of St. James. The Lebaniego Way is another World Heritage Site. It's a way that takes you to the monastery of Santo Toribio de Liébana, where you will find the biggest piece of Jesus Christ in the world. This is a detour from the way of St. James. It's less known, but not less important, the Lebaniego Way. It's a very important, very unique experience in the green Spain and in the way of St. James. More images of the way of St. James. You see, you will go along the coast. More, okay, go on. That's part of the, we are going to end up in Santiago de Compostela, the final end of the way of St. James. So really, the way of St. James is a very special walking by bike. It's a very, or even by car, you can do the whole north of Spain. But the way of St. James is a very special experience, unique in life, and the northern way is probably one of the most important of the way of St. James now. But now we are going to talk about a very important, probably the most representative product with the way of St. James of the green Spain. The wine cellars are the stately homes in the green Spain. This product, in a way, gather all the essence of the culture of the way of life, of the style of the green Spain. We will start that experience in the border with France, in the place, in the village of a little town, so to speak, of Hondarribia in the Basque Country. There you will see the old quarter, the medieval old town, and the sailors' neighborhood. This is split in two parts, these beautiful towns. And there you will see, you will start to experience the beautiful, typical Basque houses of the old medieval town of Hondarribia, to the, for instance, the sailors' neighborhood, with these bright colors, flowers, very typical of the Basque architecture. And there is the moment to start the gastronomic experience. In the sailors' neighborhood, you will have the opportunity of tasting the most delicious seafood you can imagine. Wait a minute. Go back, please, Marco. Yes, so we are still in Hondarribia. It's the moment of discovering in the La Marina neighborhood, outside the walls of the medieval town. You will have the opportunity of going to the restaurants like the Gran Sol or the restaurant Hermandad de Pescadores to taste the seafood, the sole, sibrin, tarbot. Really, it's a very amazing experience what you are going to live there. It's a very nice way to starting the experience. Go on, please. And we will pass through beautiful fishermen villages like this one, Pasai Donibani in the coast, to arrive, go on, please, to San Sebastian. San Sebastian has been one of the most important cities in the history of tourism in Europe, because it was the traditional summer place of the Spanish monarchy from the the late 19th century. Maria Cristina of Habsburg-Lorraine, the Queen of Spain, with his son Alphonse XII, started to spend the summer in this beautiful city. Since then, the old Spanish aristocracy and bourgeoisie started to spend the summer period in this beautiful house. For that reason, this city is full of vestiges, palaces, and reminiscence of this glorious period of the Belle Époque in San Sebastian. Go on, please. Go on, please. This town, this is the Miramar Palace, the former residence of the King of Spain during the summer period. This is a beautiful city. It maintains the same elegant and sophisticated air of those glorious years of the Belle Époque. This is more images of the La Concha Bay. And now you, Marco?
Yes, hi. So again, spectacular images of the city. Again, one of the most beautiful cities in the northern Spain area, and staying with the trend of again experiencing the outside, the beautiful scenery. Sagres Vacations can help your clients with sailing trips in Get-Go and all throughout northern Spain, as well as private wine tastings, not only in Rioja, but throughout all of Spain. One of the things that Spain is well known for along the years is the excellent cuisine and top-rated wines throughout. So again, these are amazing activities that you can offer to your clients. And I'll emphasize, these can all be done for private families, groups of one, all the way to small to medium-sized groups, but all private for your clients, which is again a great exclusive type of event for those people that want to feel like they have an experience just for them. And this area of Spain definitely offers an array of different experiences and workshops that you can do. And of course, then you also have hot air ballooning. I mean, you've seen some of these beautiful images that Jose has shown us. And another beautiful perspective is to see it from high above on a hot air balloon ride throughout the San Sebastian and all these beautiful cities that we just talked about. And then end your day with a cooking workshop, with amazing cuisine, again, very traditional. And one of the things that I'll reinforce, and I'm sure Jose can talk a little bit more about, is that every city, every area has its own traditional cuisine. So you can actually get a taste and learn the history through the food, which is, again, another amazing, authentic experience. There are only countries that have a rich history and culture like Spain can offer.
We are going to continue with this is the fishing port in San Sebastian. Go on, please. For instance, we start with the palaces of the region. For instance, a Yeti stately home. This beautiful small palace was built in 1878 by the Dukes of Bailen in a place where pilgrims passed through the way of St. James, the Camino de Santiago, and it reflects the 19th century atmosphere of the time. It's a very important building because personalities such as Queen Victoria of England, Queen Maria Cristina, Alphonse XIII of Spain have been there. The design of the garden was by the very famous Frenchman garden designer Pierre Ducasse, with a garden full of ponds, caves, waterfall. It's a beautiful place, the Palacio de Yeti, very representative of the atmosphere of that period. Go on, please. Yeti Gardens, go on, please. Well, we are going to make a stop now here. Leaving down the Villa Concha hill, the way, we are going to the Museum of San Telmo. It's a beautiful place. It's a fantastic museum with jewels from El Greco, Goya, etc. But probably the most amazing experience in San Telmo is the canvases, the mural paintings of Jose Maria Ser. There you have an image of these fantastic paintings, and you will see something very different and very similar at the same time at the hall of the Rockefeller Center in New York. Jose Maria Ser made a very fantastic canvases, very similar in a way to this type of paintings. This is a highlight, a must visit in our trip in the green of in San Sebastian. We go on, please. Okay, thank you. Now we will see the Hotel Maria Cristina. Hotel Maria Cristina is probably the protagonist of the San Sebastian in the Belle Epoque. It would become the European meeting place for the all the Spanish and European aristocracy for years. Throughout its history, it has hosted personalities such as, imagine, Leon Trotsky, the spy Mata Hari, actresses like Audrey Hepburn, Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg. Well, people that come every year to the San Sebastian International Film Festival. This is very well known. This is a beautiful hotel, very representative of the style of this period. More pictures. Okay. You see, it keeps well, there. Now we are going to make a stop in a new hotel, Villa Favorita, built in an ancient little palace in front of the Concha Bay. It's a beautiful hotel, recently opening this summer, and it's another fantastic hotel accommodation. In all the town, you are going to have a very special accommodation like this one or like the Maria Cristina. Ancient buildings converted into hotels, all of them reminiscent of the Belle Epoque in San Sebastian. Go on, please. This is the view from the hotel over the Concha Bay. That's very representative of the accommodation. This is another ancient palace converted into a hotel, or ancient villa, the Hotel Villa Soro in San Sebastian, another fantastic hotel. Continue. Go on. And stop here. Pinchos. Pinchos is the name you know, tapas in Spain, but in the Basque Country, the name of the tapa is pinchos. It's really a fantastic and gastronomic experience. Something probably one of the most important highlights of the gastronomic experience in the north of Spain. There are places like the Bar Gambara, Bar Chepeche, a lot of bars where you can taste the most amazing snacks, so to speak, with seafood, croquettes, squids, impressive habugo ham, fish cake. Well, pinchos is a very different way of enjoying the gastronomic culture of the Basque Country. And probably you have to go at dinner or lunch, but going bar by bar, eating pinchos is a very unique experience probably in the world. More pictures of the Basque cuisine. Fantastic. And there we will arrive at Getaria. Getaria is the birthplace of two famous persons in the world. Juan Sebastián Elcano, the first human explorer to sail around the world. He was born there. And also it was the birthplace of Cristobal Balenciaga, one of the most famous couturiers of the 20th century. Go on, please. Go on, please. The Museum of Balenciaga. Go on. This is Cristobal Balenciaga with Coco Chanel and Christian Dior were the three best designers of the middle of the 20th century in France. In the Balenciaga Museum, you will see more than 1,200 beautiful dresses from the designer, made by the designer. And among them, go on, please. You will see the wedding dress of the former Queen of Belgium, Fabiola. Go on, please. Then you will, if you want to rest there are fantastic hotels like Hotel Iturregi in Getaria, some images, for instance. Or, but there is something very important in Getaria, also the gastronomy. Chacolí, a white wine, a very delicious wine, very typical of this peculiar place. Getaria is very famous, the Chacolí. The perfect blend is to taste Chacolí with, go on please, with the grilled Red Sea bream, very famous too. So there is another of the must experiences of the green Spain. The famous Red Sea bream in Getaria and the Chacolí is one of the gastronomic experience more interesting and fantastic experience in the Basque Country. But before going inland, you will see what it is called the Flix. The Flix is in the coast of Getaria to Zumaya. The Flix are rock faces of sedimentary origin composed of the even alternation of layers of cohesive hard rocks like limestone, slate, interspersed with other softer friable rocks. So this arrangement favors differential erosion, since friable layers are more easily eroded than the cohesive layers. And this is the reason why these strange rock formations are created. So for that reason, this is the reason of these fantastic and phantasmagorical images you are going to have from during 13 kilometers before going inland the Basque Country. Go on, please. You will see beautiful, this is a Relais Chateau, Arteaga Castle, also. And we are going now inland to another place, to La Rioja Alavesa. Go on, please. So, now we arrive at Marquez Cal Winery. This is in the Rioja Alavesa, Basque Rioja denomination of origin, is one of the best red wines in Spain and in Europe. There you will see a very peculiar blend, the blend of the architecture and the wine. There you will see, imagine this building, the Marquez Cal Winery, built by a famous architect, the same that built the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. It's a sort of avant-garde architecture to enjoy and discover the red wine, the Rioja wine. Now, it's a sort of, we could say that it's a model of chateau of the 21st century in Spain. And you will see this building. Go on, please. Go, please. And another Isios winery from another architect, Calatrava, another example of this fantastic blend between architecture and wine. This is a hotel, a palace hotel in Samaniego in the Basque Country, a perfect place for resting if you want to spend some days in the Rioja Alavesa. And now we arrive at Bilbao. Bilbao is a very, how to say, hustle and bustle city, very important, a very rich city, and one of the most important of Spain. And there, the first experience will be to see the Biscaya Bridge. That was the first ferry bridge built in the wall with a metal structure. It's a World Heritage Site. It was inaugurated at the end of the 19th century, and it was declared World Heritage Site for being one of the most outstanding construction of the European Industrial Revolution and of the iron architecture. Very similar, is more or less of the period of the Tour Eiffel in Paris. This is a fantastic experience going from one side to the other in the ferry bridge. More example of the little manors, stately homes and palaces you are going to see in the green Spain, in the Basque Country. Go on, please. To arrive to the Guggenheim Museum, designed by the architect Frank Gehry. Well, it's an innovator and a breaker of classic clichés, this architect. Both in terms of design and in the use of new materials. Imagine these more than 33,000 titanium plates that cover the building. There you will see fantastic temporary exhibitions and the permanent exhibition too. Like for instance, go on please, like the famous spider of Louis Bourgeois. Go on please. Go on. There you have the famous spider of the artist Louis Bourgeois. Really another highlight of the trip on the green Spain. One place. And also we are in the old quarter of Bilbao, another place to enjoy the famous pinchos of the Basque Country and to live the essence of the traditional lifestyle of the Basque Country. Go on, please. From the Basque Country, now we are entering another region. We have left now the Basque Country, and we are in Cantabria. Cantabria is another region, and we enter in this other summer place, Castro Reales. That is another starting point of the new region, Cantabria. Let's go on, please. This is another of the little villas, very representative of the Sama destination. Well, we are now in the Bay of Santander. This is the Magdalena Palace. And Santander was also the Sama residence of the Spanish monarchy during the beginning of the 20th century. This is the palace of the royal family. And also the city is very representative of the atmosphere of the Belle Epoque of the Spanish history. Go on, please. This is our image of the fantastic Bay of Santander, and with the Santiago Beach. This is the Royal Palace. There you have the Hotel Real in Santander, and very representative also of the type of accommodation you're going. Another of the reminiscence of the Belle Epoque in Cantabria, Santander. More hotels. As you see, this is another palace, another little villa, very representative, as I've told you before, of the culture of architecture of the region. This is a hotel, an ancient villa converted into hotel, Hotel Torres de Somo. And now we are going to stop in the Botín Center. Botín Center in Santander, we will find a masterpiece of the architecture made by the architect Renzo Piano. It's an art center with fantastic art galleries and exhibitions. Some of the halls, some of the art halls are over the sea. You have the feeling of being flying over the sea. This is a fantastic building inaugurated 3 or 4 years ago. Well, the Restaurante El Riojano, other of the, this restaurant is very representative of also of the gastronomic culture of the Cantabrian region. Fantastic, you see the barrels with the same, with beautiful paintings on the top. This is samples of the gastronomy in the region, very good in Cantabria. Cantabrian cheeses, very varied, delicious. And the anchovies probably is the start. The anchovies probably is the start meat of the, dish of the Cantabrian gastronomy. It's fantastic, the traditional anchovies from Cantabria. Very well. And the liqueurs still, in Cantabria, liqueurs are very, are part of the gastronomic culture in the Cantabria, from herbs, from grape liqueurs in Cantabria is part of this tradition of the lifestyle in the gastronomic culture. Another restaurant, Senador de Amos, 3-star Michelin, in another ancient building, converted into a beautiful restaurant. Another ancient palace converted into hotel, in Hotel Palacio de Soñanes in Cantabria. And there, now we arrive at a very peculiar place, Cabárceno Park. This is fantastic. It's in the middle of the region of the Green Spain. You're going to see this magnificent example of environmental recovery. It's a former open cast iron mine converted into a zoo. More than 700 hectares with animals living in semi-freedom. This is a very unusual experience. Go on, please. Elephants, tigers, jaguars, this is amazing. Birds, well, really, they live in semi-freedom, and it's in a very... Now from there, from Cabárceno, we will see to beautiful medieval villages like Santillana del Mar in Cantabria, a beautiful place, like this one. All of the region is full of this type of little villages, very medieval. We will make a stop in the famous Altamira Cave, the Sistine Chapel of the prehistoric art. They are the famous European bison, the polychromy from the Paleolithic period. Imagine to see that from that more millions of years of life in this cave. And we arrive at Comillas. Comillas is very famous because it was another summer place from the Spanish aristocracy. And the reason was very curious. It was what we call now tourism. In that moment, it was they call wave bath. They went to Comillas because Comillas, this town like Santander, San Sebastian, Biarritz in France, Deauville, Cannes, began to be frequented by the bourgeoisie in order to take just wave baths, because the baths were recommended by doctors for health reasons, following the medical trends of the period, and their use as part of recreation among the bourgeoisie. So that was the beginning of this place, like a summer destination in Spain. So there are vestiges and fantastic buildings. The one, please. Like the Palace of Sobrellano, built by the Marquis of Comillas, one of the benefactors of this little village. Or, for instance, go on, this fantastic and magic and it's like a fairy tale. This is a villa built by Anthony Gaudí, one of the most famous modernist architects in the world, for instance, Spanish architect. And this sort of, this is El Capricho is the name, the whim, so to speak, because it's a sort of very peculiar, like a fairy tale. It's a very unusual building. There is another opportunity of having a good lunch or dinner in the restaurant La Lonja de Comilla, very good seafood, the one place. Or in places like San Vicente de la Barquera, all of them in the coast, the one. Or having, for instance, go on in the restaurant Anua, this fantastic, go on please, oysters. It's a perfect place to taste these delicious oysters. And from there, go on please, we will make a stop in the Cave of Elsoplaus. The Cave of Elsoplaus is a unique monument of geology worldwide. A recreation of a mini train will take us to the cave. With lighting and musical effects, you will see the most fantastic stalactites and stalagmites. And some of them are fantastic, like this one, the one please, called the eccentric. The one please. This one is a sort of explosion of an stalactite. Fantastic. And the name for that reason is eccentric, it's unique in the world. And now we are arrived in Asturias. And now we are going to make a stop to talk about a little about the history of the Indianos, the culture of the Indianos. Indianos were very poor people that left their country at the end of the 19th century to make fortune in America, mainly to Cuba and Puerto Rico. And it's the story of a dream come true. When they were there in America, they were the only obsession was to go back to their homeland and to build beautiful houses to show how rich they were. In a way, they were new rich, of course. So all of these houses in a very neoclassical style with bright colors and palm trees, arbor and beautiful gardens are example of these dreams or the dream of that people that really made really fortunes with the tobacco, in the business of tobacco, textile, and even in the bank. And all of the region, continue, go on please, are full of these buildings. This is the Archive of Indianos. Go on, please. This is another Indiano house, please, just to give you an idea about this type of bright colors. And go on, please. Go on. It's another with the palm trees. You see, both all Indiano houses has at least 2 palm trees. That's very representative of this style. Go on. Hydrangeas. This is a typical flower of Asturias. Indiano houses, all of them. This is houses, hotel, Indiano houses converted now in hotel. You will see in Asturias many hotels that are forming Indiano houses now converted into fantastic hotel accommodation. Go on, please. Go on, please. We will pass through beautiful villages like Llanes in Asturias. Go on. Or this is a Pueblo Asturias, an eco resort, a rural resort with a fantastic spa in the middle of the country. Go on. Go on, please. And we will see the sanctuary of Covadonga close to the Picos de Europa, a mountain chain that is probably one of the most fantastic natural sceneries of the green Spain, the mountain chain Picos de Europa. Go on, please. Go on. The Arcina Lake, or the cliffs of the Hell in the coast to the Ribadesella. There you have more example of the Indiano houses. Go on, please. This is a hotel, another, and we will arrive to Oviedo. Oviedo is a very stately city, very ancient, with a very 19th century atmosphere. There it's necessary at least to spend 1 or 2 days for visiting all the history and all the art that you are going that this city can offer to the visitor. There you have the Cathedral of San Salvador in Oviedo, in the old quarter. And these are buildings very representative of the architecture, the stately architecture of the city. More examples of the type is colorful. Okay, go on, please. This is the theater. Go on, please. Make a stop. This is the headquarters. The Theater Campo Amor is the headquarters of the Premios Príncipe de Asturias. Premios Príncipe de Asturias is the prestigious Princess of Asturias Awards, which are awarded each year to the most relevant personalities in the world of culture, science and sport. Personalities like Annie Leibovitz, for instance, or the athlete Lance Armstrong have been awarded by the Prince of Asturias Award. Go on, please. Go on. Another hotel, Hotel La Reconquista, very ancient building. Thermal resort, Las Caldas, from the 19th century, another fantastic place. Just to give you an idea. Okay, go on. Go on, please. Or this magical castle. We will have to make a stop in this in the 19th century. This is the pre-Romanesque architectural style. In the 19th century, the flame of the Christianity was kept alive in the Iberian Peninsula, in the tiny kingdom of Asturias. And here you have an example of an innovative pre-Romanesque architectural style that was created and was going to play a very significant role in the development of the religious architecture of the Iberian Peninsula. And there you have an example, Santa Maria del Naranco with San Miguel de Lillo, are two jewels in the surrounding area of the capital of Oviedo that is only a must visit during this trip. Cider. Cider is the typical Asturian drink, and cider bar called Ciderias is another fantastic gastronomic experience in cider barrels. You see the typical, and this is fantastic. Pouring cider. This is very complicated. This is a ritual because they have to hold the bottle above the head and pouring the cider on the glass, and the glass has to be at the height of the knees. It's very complicated pouring cider, but it's a fantastic ritual during the visit of a cider bar. Go on, please. Fabada, traditional Asturian dish with beans, sausages, chorizo. Cudillero. Cudillero is one of the charming villages we are going to see during the whole coast. This is fantastic. Another gastronomic dish the tuna roll in Cudillero. I recommend you, if you go to Cudillero, you have to taste the tuna roll. This is a fantastic plate. That's a fantastic dish. Lighthouses in Cudillero, beautiful buildings of the surrounding area. This is another beautiful palace, a stately home of Selgas. Fantastic building, very well preserved. It keeps all the atmosphere of the 19th century with the furniture in a perfect state, with beautiful gardens, the French garden, the English garden, the conservatory, the tapestry pavilion. Really, this is so to speak, mandatory stop in this trip. Selga's stately home is something unique. The one, please. Luarca, another fisherman village. The one, please. Or Castropol in Asturias, another beautiful city. But we arrive now in the last region of the green Spain, the corner, Galicia. This is the Cathedral Beach. This is fantastic. This is a unique experience, a unique beach, so to speak, the Cathedral Beach, because you are going, this beach is called the Beach of the Cathedral because of the rock formations that are reminiscent of the flying buttresses of a cathedral, as you see. They seem to be leaning against the wall. This is a unique place in the green Spain, the famous Cathedral Beach. Go on. And we arrive at Santiago de Compostela, the final end of the Way of St. James, another World Heritage Site, not only the Camino, the Way of St. James, but the city. It's a fantastic, the old quarter of the city, full of history, full of pilgrims, people from all over the world. And it's probably one of the most important cities of the history of Christendom, with Rome and Jerusalem. And the Way of St. James is, as I've told you before, the first European cultural itinerary. Go on, please. The Portico of Glory, with the polychromy recently restored, the jewel of the Romanesque art. The interior of the cathedral. This is a hotel, one of the oldest hotels in the world, Hotel Reyes Católicos. So that will give you an idea of the type of accommodation you are going to live in Galicia. Go on, please. Go on. Gastronomy also in Galicia is fantastic. The seafood is probably the most representative part of the Galician gastronomy. Go on. Seafood. You see. Another hotel, Relais Chateau, Quinta d'Auga, a fantastic hotel in the surrounding area, an ancient paper mill converted into a hotel. Hotel Quinta d'Auga. Go on, please. You see the type of accommodation is very ancient, with the atmosphere of the history in the walls, and you will see in a lot of hotels in the whole region, the whole green Spain. We go on with Santiago de Compostela, the capital, and now we start with the route of the camellia. This is a unique product in Europe. The route of the camellia. In Galicia, there are more than 3,000 varieties of camellia in the most beautiful gardens you can imagine. So this experience start in Santiago de Compostela. Go on, please. And in this, we will see beautiful fishermen villages during the route, like this one. Go on, please. And we will see these fantastic little palaces during the route of the camellia. The camellia route, go on, please. Will give you the opportunity of visiting fantastic manors like this one. In the month of March, these gardens are amazing because they are full of camellia, and we hold a lot of exhibition during that period of time. During winter, it's a flower winter. It's a flower winter. And really, go on, please. Go on. Go on, please. You can see the interiors of the buildings. Go on, and the garden full of camellias. Very magical, as you see, the gardens. Very sophisticated, with all the atmosphere of the history of the old Europe. Go one, please. There you will see, we will find, we call also the route of the camellias and wines, because some of these palaces have camellia gardens and wineries. So the blend here, if in the Basque Country was the architecture, the avant-garde architecture with the wine, here are the camellias and the wine, the blend. So we will see fantastic, and we will taste a very good white wine, the denomination of origin, Rías Baixas. The one, please. We will see the interiors too. Another palace with the winery, another fantastic wine, Fefiñanes. The one, please. Another wine. This is a hotel dedicated to the culture of wine. It's a hotel and winery too. Nova Villa. Out there, you can rest also in fantastic thermal resort like this one in, La Toja Island. This is a very fantastic thermal resort from the 19th century, very wide, perfect place to have a rest. We will see historical quarters in beautiful old towns like Pontevedra. And the one, please. We can organize fantastic boat trips to visit the Mussel Farm platform in Arosa estuary. Fantastic experience too, or tasting seafood during the boat trip. To visit these beautiful islands. And we are going to end up the experience in the inland, in another denomination of origin, Ribeira Sacra. In this fantastic hotel, an ancient monastery converted into a hotel, the Parador, Santo Esteban de Ribas de Sil, well, you will discover a new fantastic wine, the wine of the Ribeira Sacra. This is the terraces of the Ribeira Sacra. Out there, we are going to end up the presentation with the winery and this autumn picture of the Ribeira Sacra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jose. And if those pictures were not just simply beautiful, the food is amazing. I've had the pleasure of being to some of these amazing little villages and towns, and I can tell you, you will definitely gain 10, 15 pounds returning home, because the food is amazing, the culture, and the scenery. You know, one of the things that we really focus on with our experiences at Sagres Vacations is really connecting you with not only the culture, but also everything around you, the nature, these beautiful, amazing landscapes that sometimes you can only get to if you have a private tour guide, which we include in all of our private itineraries. Here you have kayaking in northern Spain. Also visit some of the other natural landscapes in the area as well. There's a ton of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And Jose, you can talk a little about the different seasons, but these are destinations that you can travel to in all phases of the year, all different seasons, correct?
So yeah, no different seasons, of course. In each season, really the experience can be even different because the landscape changes a lot. But the temperature is very mild, very pleasant, because the way of life in the green Spain, the north of Spain, is very slow. It's very different with regard to the south. And even in winter, in autumn, in summer, really the green Spain is a unique experience. I said we've been during the presentation. We've been talking about the astronomy, the lifestyle, the architecture, the history. Really, the whole experience is unique. It's a very unusual. All the palaces, the wineries, all the vestiges of the history of the Europe will be there waiting for the tourists.
Great. And I know we are running a little bit short of time. We usually have a few minutes for questions, but I want to at least let our agents know that are listening to us our phone number and my email there, and the fact that they can contact us if they have any questions. Any of the questions or you submitted through the Q&A here on the Zoom webinar, as well as the chat sessions, we will answer those directly. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity to thank Jose Ramon and his team, because there is a whole team behind Jose Ramon. that has helped put together this amazing, picturesque journey of Northern Spain, the Green Spain, and that your clients will love when they travel there. So Jose and obviously your colleagues, thank you. Muchas gracias for joining us. I know it's late in Spain. Thank you for joining us at this time and providing us with such an inspiration for all of us to bring our clients to this amazing part of the world.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so we will, I know there are some questions coming in. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to answer all of them, but I will highlight some of them specifically. Someone was asking, is there experiences for families to travel throughout this region?
Yes, of course. There are experiences for families. I have them here. We can provide information because it's a perfect place for families. Perfect.
Great. And best time to see camellias, you said in March, correct?
So the best time really for camellias is winter, from the month of January, February, March, and the middle of April, because also we hold a lot of exhibition during this time.
Great. And I know there's questions about the link for this presentation. We will send out an email to all of the agents that registered and attended with the link for this presentation so that you can have it and showcase it and to your clients and obviously view it at your own time. So don't worry about that. We will send that to you in the next day or so. Let me see if there's another quick question we can answer here. So I noticed some of them have already been answered by your colleagues, Jose. So some of the questions were about the number of days to travel through these destinations. I would say a minimum of 7 to 8, 9 days at least.
More or less, 7 to 8.
Yeah.
7 to 8.
Because you definitely want to be able to connect with each destination and enjoy a local dinner. You don't want to be on the go all the time. So that's certainly something that we at Sage Vacations are really focused on our itineraries, building in a little bit of downtime so you can enjoy a local cafe, the pintos, the wine, everything. So that's part of the experience, coming back and be able to say that you went to this local great restaurant, this amazing cafe, and you had the best wine that in the area. So I think we're all in agreement with the amount of days there. So once again, for all of our travel agent partners, thank you so much for joining us. We will be adding additional webinars in the coming weeks. So we will send out an email to everybody on here and as well as your colleagues for our additional webinars. If you have any questions at all, my contact information is there. We realize that times are difficult now, but now is the time to educate your clients and be able to inspire them and create that amazing experience in 2021. And with the tourism office of Galicia and his colleagues and Jose and all his team, we are here at Sage Vacations to help you accomplish that. So reach out to us, any questions at all. Again, our minimum group size is 1, so we can create itineraries for your solo travelers, for wine connoisseurs, for families, religious travel, destination weddings, honeymoons, and so forth. So feel free to reach out, and thank you once again. Be safe, and we will connect soon in another webinar. Thanks again, Jose.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
¿Estáis ahí?
Sí, yo estoy.
Sí, aquí está.
Sí, pero se ha equivocado de PowerPoint.
Sí.
No envió el que envié yo ayer corregido.
Con lo que te has currado el tinglao.
Es que me ha dado de verdad, porque ayer estuve hasta las tantas haciendo las nuevas experiencias, colocando, os lo puedo enviar. Se lo voy a decir a él que no le entregue eso a la gente.
No.
Que mande el otro y ya está.
En el email, pero no te había dado opción para compartir la pantalla.
No me la dio. No me dio opción para compartir.
Pero en la prueba sí lo había hecho.
En la prueba sí, en cambio hoy me dijo que no se podía. Entonces, yo no sé qué ha pasado y claro, ya no quise ni tocar, con lo cual he tenido que dar la conferencia sin poder guiarla yo, y esto me pone nerviosísimo.
No me extraña.
A ver cuántos
No me extraña.
De verdad, ha sido agotador, ¿eh?
Un momento, por favor.
¿Están escuchando ellos?
Creo
Sí,
que
ahora sí.
Sí, Susana, te oímos.
creo que seguimos conectados.
Sí, pero es que, de verdad, estoy negro porque lo he pasado fatal, ¿eh?
Ahí todavía.
No te, a ver, te entiendo, José, porque sabes muy mal con el currazo que te has metido todo el día ayer, que no tal, pero ha quedado bien, ¿eh? Ha quedado muy
Sí, sí,
bien.
que no pasa nada.
La gente ha estado escribiendo sin parar. Yo es que me he dedicado ahí a los chats, a ir
Si no dejabas
contestando.
contestar.
Claro, porque es que yo veía que iban preguntando cosas y que el tiempo se nos echaba encima y que además se iba desconectando gente. Empezamos con 62 y quedamos en 53. Entonces digo, bueno, voy a ir adelantando cosas porque si no muchas veces se queda en el tintero.
Alguna que iba a contestar yo te has adelantado. Digo, jo, esta.
Sorry.
A ver, escuchadme un momentito. En primer lugar, todo lo que hemos estado hablando nos han estado oyendo los agentes. Y uno de ellos nos ha mandado un mensaje diciendo: hola, aún están en vivo, saludos.
Oh,
Que lo sepas.
Sí, está.
Que lo sepas. Por eso
Bueno,
es lo más bonito de la
pues
presentación.
está bien que sepan que hay más curro detrás.
Luego, en segundo lugar, hay muchísimos mensajes de lo excelente de la presentación, de lo interesadísimos que están,
Nos llamamos por el grupo.
No, los 9 ya son los panelistas.
Participantes.
21, siguen quedando 21.
21.
21 que nos están escuchando.
Y además está nuestra compañera de Tour España, ¿no?
Sí,
Elena está ahí también.
hola. Bueno,
Elena.
yo no sé cuál sería la presentación. Hola, Delfina, bueno, y a todos. No sé
Hola,
no sé cuál sería la presentación final, pero ha estado muy bien. O sea, que dentro de lo que hay, no te preocupes, porque ha estado muy bien. Y lo de los panelistas, si había 60 y se han quedado 50, pues también está muy bien.
Sí, 55, está muy bien.
55.
Lo que pasa es que a mí me ha
Está muy
resultado tan difícil hacerla no pudiendo manejar yo la pantalla, me ha matado.
Pero
Ya.
pues no se te ha notado, majo.
Oh, pues estaba nervioso porque no puedo, el ritmo no lo puedo hacer, o sea,
Sí, yo te entiendo.
nada, me bloquea además, ¿eh?
Mm.
Me bloquea
Pues,
porque, bueno, es igual, ya pasó.
bueno, hombre, sí, es verdad que es mejor que hubieras pasado tú las diapositivas que no él, pero aún así, no, vamos, no estarías muy nervioso, pero no se te notaba.
Pues estaba negro, porque es que ¿sabes lo que pasa? Que yo me marco mi propio ritmo durante el discurso y sé dónde tengo que parar más tiempo o no, y ya no me atreví a decir cosas porque ya tenía miedo, o que se atascara o que fuera más rápido. Y entonces estaba negro. Y en algún sitio a lo mejor... espera, que creo que me está llamando él. Sí, sí, Marco. Sí. Oh, well, yes, we are going to disconnect. Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you. No, que tenemos que desconectar,
Ok.
que nos están escuchando.